Velina mai kako. Welcome to Keep It Aloha, a podcast that keeps aloha by proving that toughness and humility can come from the same place. I'm your host Kamaka, and our guest today is one of the toughest guys to ever play the game of football. But before we introduce him, I gotta remind you about this week's giveaway. If you didn't already know, here on the Keep It Aloha podcast, we give away $500 or more in prizes every single week, all of 2026. For this week's giveaway, we teamed up with Dave & Buster's Aloha. To find the prize and enter, all you have to do is head to our Instagram and find the giveaway on our profile. The full details will be in the description. I'll be pulling the winners on Wednesday, June 24th, so make sure you get your entries in. For an extra 10 entries, email Nicole at keepitaloha.com the secret word/phrase from this episode, as well as your favorite NFL team. And as always, the prizes and entry instructions can change every week, so make sure you're following and listening to the full episode so you never miss a chance to win. Good luck and enjoy this episode. All right, let's introduce our guest. Before we continue with this episode, I gotta show love to our friends at Hawaiian Airlines because right now they're running their biggest credit card giveaway ever. And this one is actually crazy. All 2026 long, if you're using the Hawaiian Airlines World Elite MasterCard, every single swipe counts as an entry into their sweepstakes. Just like us this year on the pod, they're going big. Every single week, 7 people will win 100,000 Atmos reward points. And every month, 1 person wins 1,000,000 points. That's 44 million points given out this year. Imagine how many places you could go with that many points. So the more you use your card, the more chances you get to win. And if you're a resident residing here in Hawaii, it gets even better. You'll earn 50% bonus points on all purchases, up to 5,000 bonus points during the promotional period. Winners get contacted directly, so if you see something from Martin Kane, don't skip over it. That could be your points right there. Restrictions apply, no purchase required. See rules. Ends December 31st, 2026 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to learn more or enter, check out hawaiianairlines.com/greatpointsgiveaway. Good luck. Our guest today is a Hawaii football legend from the island of Oahu. In high school, he received All-State and SuperPrep All-America honors while serving as football team captain during his senior year, and would additionally go on to win the Hawaii State Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. He then went on to star at the University of Washington, where he became a consensus All-American before being drafted by the Chicago Bears in 1998. Over the next 13 seasons in Chicago, he became the heart of one of the NFL's most storied franchises, earning 6 Pro Bowl selections, first-team All-Pro honors, and a spot on the NFL All-Decade team for the 2000s. He helped lead the Bears to Super Bowl 41 and is widely considered one of the greatest centers in franchise history. Today, he's a respected football analyst, coach, mentor, and remains one of Hawaii's most successful football exports. I am so stoked to talk stories with him today. He is Olin Kreutz. Aloha, Olin. Welcome to Keep It Aloha podcast on the road here in Chicago. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm shocked you guys made it out here. You guys, I know we're in the storm yesterday down in the city, which is tough. But as you know, growing up in Hawaii, when you first reached out to me, I want to do it, right? You want to do the show, but it's always hard to talk about yourself. Like I do analyst work now, and I do radio and stuff, and that's not hard. But as you know, as how we grew up, it's not easy to say all the things that you've done well and talk about yourself and go through your story and try to act like, wow, I did this great thing, right? So it's always a complicated for me to do things like this. Like it's not hard for me to talk about other things. It's just hard to talk about yourself a lot.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm here for. I get to brag about my guests, and I get to talk about all the amazing things that you've done. And shout out to Hawaiian Airlines for getting us here. We have a great partnership with them. Now that they've combined with Alaska in the One World Alliance, we're able to go to different places in North America.
Does Hawaiian have direct here? Or no?
They don't. So that's why now they're with Alaska. We can go from Hawaiian. We went to Seattle. Okay. Seattle, Alaska Airlines to Chicago.
So Hawaiian to Seattle.
Yeah.
Alaska Airlines to Chicago.
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
You. I got you.
So I mean, it's pretty cool.
I'm always looking for new ways to get
back.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah. So lots of ways now. Yeah. So shout out Hawaiian. We're here in Chicago. We got a great welcoming with deep dish pizza. Went to a baseball game. We got caught in that crazy storm yesterday, out of nowhere. So people they see you as a Chicago Bears legend, but I'm a Saints fan.
Yes.
So you're one of my favorite Saints of all time.
That half
you're a Saints legend in my eyes.
That half year won you over, right?
Yeah.
I think you'd probably be the only guy to call me a Saints legend.
Because I'm a Saints fan.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, most people think you mean the St. Louis Crusaders Saints, right? Not the New Orleans Saints.
Maybe both.
I
interpret it how you like.
Went there in my 14th year. I had a dust up with a coach, and that didn't really work out well.
I was excited for that, but I was just stoked. Like when Manti came to the Saints,
right.
When you went to the Saints, Max Unger was on the Saints.
I wonder if Manti. I don't know if me and Manti were the same number. Was Manti 50 for the Saints?
I think he was.
Yeah, I think we wore the same number for the Saints.
Oh, that's so cool.
Max Unger from the Big Island, very good football. And he had a great
career.
He was a really good center for the Saints. His O-line coach, Dan Rochar, for the time, is the Bears O-line coach now.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so actually with my son who had a tryout with the Bears, I was watching a lot of Max Unger film, and I was telling Josh, my oldest son, who's also a center, that, man, I forgot how good Max was. Max is a good football player, man. Yeah, he had a good year. I mean, the Saints were good when he was there.
Yeah, I mean, we had some good years. I mean, you were playing in a time when it was exciting to be a Bear.
Well, Drew Brees and
then just that good, era of that 2000s. I mean, that was my Madden days when I was doing the fantasy drafts. I was getting players from Larry Fitzgerald and Drew Brees on a team, and you at center, and
the dream team.
It was so awesome. Yeah. I loved playing Madden during that time. But you've done so much for the game, so much for Hawaii. I believe you are the highest rated Madden player ever from Hawaii.
I think in 2006, I think they rated me 98. But that is just like, to carry that stuff with you where you go represent Hawaii, try to excel at what you're doing in football. It's always important. It's important because that everyone back there is watching, and the kids are saying, okay, maybe I can do it, right? And like for a guy like me that went to St. Louis, I'm not a big Samoan guy, right? I'm Hawaiian, Portuguese, I'm German. So it was important to get out there, try to play as good as football as I can, and leave a mark.
Yeah, totally. And that's what you did. And I would love to get to know your whole life story. Start at the beginning, like how we do in Hawaii. Where are you from? Where you grad? And what was it like growing up?
Okay, so I grew up in Ainahaina mostly, and then my parents got divorced my senior year in high school, and I moved to Kuli'o to live with my grandfather. And then through college, my mom moved out to Waimanalo Apartments. So mostly just the east side of the island, Hawaii Kai side is where I'm from. I went to Ainahaina Elementary in Ainahaina. I went to New Valley Intermediate for 7th and 8th grade. And then when we got to the high school, tested for Kamehameha, tested for Pono. Obviously didn't pass those tests.
They're lost. They could have had some championships.
My dad's a Punahou guy, a Punahou grad. So, but Cal Lee, obviously the legendary football coach from St. Louis, was my dad's neighbor in Ainahaina. So his parents grew up right down the road. So Cal and Ron, and we just kind of, okay, why don't you go to St. Louis? So I ended up at St. Louis High School. Obviously, at that time, that was the football. That's where you want to be if you want to play football. I remember going to what they call like your first one-on-one pass rush, where it's like you go against the defensive line. And, Eli Thompson is standing there, and Vi Tata, who played at UCLA, and Viliami Maumau, who played at Colorado. And it's just, you're going against guys like that every day. And it was intimidating, but iron sharpens iron. And you got better at football, and then you got to see these guys doing things that, hey, maybe I can do that too, right? But, from there went to University of Washington. But growing up in Hawaii for me at the time was just, it's what I knew. It was normal. The culture was normal. I had my family all over the place. I had 3 older brothers, so I was the youngest of 4 brothers, which was probably why I had a little chip on my shoulder. I thought my name was Fat Boy when I was growing up. That's what my brothers called me. So, but I loved it, man. I loved growing up in Hawaii. I loved the culture. I loved the family. I loved the food. I loved the things we did on weekends. I loved everything about the way we did things.
Yeah, awesome. So you were around your older brothers. I'm sure you had cousins, friends. So you were just like the young buck trying to, make a name for yourself. And how good were your brothers? And were they also in sports?
They were in sports, but not really great at it. Not really good.
I'm sure
they
you
were
remind
good.
them about
that.
Oh,
yeah, for sure. And like for my brother Sam, I was actually the water boy for the Kalani Falcons team when he played at Kalani. So, and my brother Otis played at Kalani, and my oldest brother Keanu, he went to Kamehameha. So he played at Kamehameha. So I got to watch them, like you're saying, when they were growing up and go to their football games and hear my dad yell at them after games and talk about how bad they played, and learned a lot just from watching them and watching the way they did things, and hearing my dad and my mom talk to them about the way they wanted things done and the way things should be done. And, you know, being the youngest of, you know, like I said, 4 brothers, you benefit from that. You benefit from learning from their mistakes and listening to your mom and dad raise them and tell them what they should be doing, how the game should be played, and what's expected out of us in our house. So I got to learn a lot just from that way.
So growing up in St. Louis, you did football, but you also did wrestling, and did you do track as well?
Did shot put and disc.
Shot put,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
so I wasn't a runner, obviously, did wrestling, loved the sport of wrestling. But you know, Al Torres was our coach there. Really just got into it, you know, really growing up. My family is kind of a baseball family, so we played Kalani Only Athletic Club, KC, and I played for the Giants and played baseball and basketball mostly growing up because I was too heavy to play Pop Warner. So Pop Warner at the time was 135 pounds. And my brothers all played. My dad coached, and my mom was the president of the Kalani Falcons Pop Warner, which practiced at Ainahaina Elementary. So I was always around football, but never really got a chance to play it. And never got a chance to wrestle just because, unlike Illinois in the Midwest, there's tons of wrestling programs and things. And I think now Hawaii does have wrestling for younger kids, but at that time there wasn't much to do. So always just kind of waited for my sports, but obviously lucky to develop in basketball and baseball and play other sports, which is important for young athletes to do, right? To get out there, play other sports, learn other things, and develop your athleticism and your game as you go through. So, but when I got to St. Louis, I always knew, like, I wanted to play football. Like, football always appealed to me, just the way the game was played, the hitting, the violence, but also the chess matching and figuring things out and figuring the defense out and figuring out what they're trying to do to me. But obviously going to St. Louis was intimidating, but on my way up, I didn't do either sport that I ended up doing in high school.
Well, so when was the first time you played football?
It was my 6th grade year at Kalani Falcons Pop Warner, but that's the only year I played. So I had to play midgets because I was too heavy. So I moved up once. So that was the first year I played. The second year I ever played football, I was in 9th grade at St. Louis.
Oh, wow. So you just did 6th grade, nothing, and then 9th grade.
9th grade. And, you know, my brothers all played Pop Warner, but like we talked about, because of the at that time they didn't have, I think they have what they call the big boy league now.
Yeah, I remember I was in Pee Wee's my 7th grade year because I was older, lighter.
Right.
Because I was too light, so I was able to play. So I was a little bit bigger, and I was, you know, I could play a little bit better. My brothers were older lighters. I remember there was a guy on our team, I won't say his name, but he was like the monster of our team. You know, like this guy, nobody wanted to hit him. And I remember I was in Vegas years later, and this like guy, you know, I can barely see him over the craps table, and he's like, Olin, he was the guy. He was the older lighter. No way.
Yeah, that nobody wanted to hit, but he was so small because, you know, to be older lighter, obviously you gotta, you know, you come from 9th grade and play against like 6, 7, 8 graders,
exactly.
just kill everybody, right? So, but yeah, that was it. It wasn't that I didn't want to play. Loved playing, wanted to play football bad, but just there's no opportunity.
Yeah. So at what point in your high school career did you realize, okay, I think this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to pursue this in college?
It's funny because, like, people ask me, like, what point did you think you're like, okay, I'm going to pursue this in college? It was at the point when I got my first letter, right? It's always surprising, like, when you're like, oh, this guy thinks I'm good enough to play in college, right? Obviously, it's a dream, but it wasn't like not now. Like, there wasn't social media. My family, there's not a lot of Division I athletes, right? It was me, and no one else really. There was no college. No one else played sports in college. So even though it's a dream, it seems far-fetched, right? And I remember going to a Pro Bowl practice when I was younger and meeting Jesse Sopolo and meeting Mark Tuinei and being like, man, these guys are huge. Like, this is unbelievable. Could I do this? I don't know. But then, you know, I actually broke my foot my sophomore. We played in the Shawneekina Classic. And Cal Lee came up to me and he said, we're going to start you at left tackle versus the team we played had a good defensive lineman, a ranked defensive lineman. And I was like holding form, right? Like, yeah. And I remember going to the car, like, what did he say? Like, am I going to start at left tackle for the St. Louis Crusaders? So I told my dad, and my dad's like, and my mom, and they're like, are you sure? Like, are you sure you're starting? So I started as a sophomore at left tackle against, I forget what I think the team was Clovis or something. You remember the Shawnee King class used to bring teams in to play? I don't know if you guys know that, but so I played in that game, and then we went to Palolo Field to practice because we only had one field at the time in St. Louis, and I shattered my left foot. So I was out the whole year, my sophomore year in football. So when you say, like, you know, when did you think you'd do it? It was probably after my junior year when I made All-State, right? And making All-State was, I thought, a lot of a product of just being on St. Louis's team, being a state champ, being around really good players that made you better. So, like, okay, these guys start recruiting me, which I'm as surprised as anybody, right? Like, these guys actually want me to. I'm not going to say it wasn't my dream, but I didn't think breaking my foot, playing my junior year, now these guys want me to come play college football, and then it all seemed real.
Yeah. So your junior year, that's when you had your breakout season. And were you at left tackle, or were you playing center already?
I think I was playing right tackle.
Right
junior.
tackle.
I didn't play center into my second year in college.
Oh, wow.
So actually, when the people were recruiting me, my final 5 schools were Nebraska, who were national champs at the time. Me and Chris Fulmata-Mafala, our running back, were one of the first 2 they've recruited from Hawaii. And it was Arizona, Colorado, Washington, University of Hawaii. And I actually wanted to go to Hawaii.
All the West Coast.
Yeah, I wanted to go to University of Hawaii, right? And but my mom was like, "You're not staying home. Like, you're not going to stay home. You're getting into too much trouble. You got to get the hell out of here." So
we got to get into that.
Right. Yeah, well, there's enough stories online, I'm sure.
Okay.
But the funny thing was, my next choice was Colorado. But when I got there, the head coach, Bill McCartney, on my recruiting trip, retired. So I was actually hosted by Viliami Mau and Chris Naole. And I was like, Colorado is an amazing place. But at the time, Washington had considered Polynesian a minority. So there was like 800 Hawaii students there. So on my recruiting trip, I was like, well, this is as close as I'm going to get to Hawaii. And another great story is me and Chris Fulmata-Mafala were in the office at St. Louis High School. And I looked at him and I said, Chris, how far is the flight to Nebraska? And he said, oh, I don't know, man. So we called, and someone told us. And we called the coach immediately and said, we're not coming because I'm not flying. Yeah. I'm not flying that way. It just seemed crazy to fly. Like I didn't even know where it was on the map. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's at least probably two different planes.
Yeah, no doubt. Right? I think they said it ended up being, and this is a long time, this is 94 we were talking about this, 1994. I was like, I think they said 13 or 14 hours. Yeah. And that just seemed insane to me.
That's how long it took us to get here.
Oh, no, I'm sure, right? And but until you, like, you don't, I was like, well, I'm not, I looked at Chris, I said, would you ever consider going to Nebraska? He was like, no way, because he ended up at Utah.
Okay.
And I was like, me neither. So we just canceled that trip. You know, that's how, that's how island boy, like small we were. Like we couldn't even imagine flying to Nebraska, right? So, and then when I was at Washington, I told every school that recruited me, like, I never want to play center, ever, because I hated snapping the ball and then hitting somebody. Obviously, they lie to you; they don't care, right? So, my first year, I go to Washington. I played at guard behind Pat Kessie, Pat and Petro Kessie. Petro Kessie went to St. Louis. Pat's a Farrington. He's a Hawaii legend. But I played behind him. But I played a little bit, and they got into some trouble with the team. They suspended me. When I came back, they said, Olin, we're going to move you to center. And so I was suspended all of the summer. And I told him, I said, Coach Morton, his name was Steve Morton, was my O-line coach. I said, I told you I'll never play center. And he looked at me and he said, if you play center, you'll play 10 years in the NFL. And I said, I'll give it a shot. So that was the first time I actually thought about playing in the NFL. Like the guy, like I remember leaving that meeting thinking, did he just say that I could play in the NFL? So that is how I moved to center. And really they moved me behind a guy named Lynn Johnson, who was an honorable mention All Pac-10 center. So I thought they were screwing me. Like I thought I wasn't going to play that year. I thought they were still mad at me for what had happened. But in the end, I beat him out for the job to start.
So what was it about your skill set that they just thought like, oh, you're gonna be better at center? Like what?
I'm smaller, right? I'm a smaller, faster line. Like in Hawaii, I'm probably a tall guy. I remember getting to Washington, and you stand in the hallway, and they do physicals. And I remember thinking I'm the smallest guy in this hallway, but I'm the offensive lineman, right? Like that's how big. Like Brock Hewitt was our quarterback. He was 6'6". Mac Tuieo was a defensive lineman. He was 6'7". Our linebacker Lester Towns was 6'3", and I was standing there at 6'2", right? So I remember calling my mom and being like, I don't know if I can play against these guys. Like they're huge. Like all those guys were. It was just different than it was in Hawaii. I think I was one of the taller guys on my St. Louis team.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Hawaii thing is like, okay, if you're 6 foot, you're probably playing center when you're playing basketball.
Right, yeah.
But then you're just a point guard anywhere outside of Hawaii. That's how it always was.
It is like, but it's eye-opening if you don't know that, right? But my skill set, I didn't know this, but my skill set of being a smaller, quicker offensive lineman matches center perfect.
And do you think like you playing others, like doing baseball and maybe even other stuff you did, I don't know, running away from your parents when you got in trouble, do you think those things helped you with some of your skill sets?
Definitely, right? It just helped develop me being a more all-around athlete, right? Being able to play baseball, play basketball. Anybody who asks me now, I'm like, put your kids in baseball, put them in basketball, make sure they're playing different sports year round, make sure they develop themselves. And even like, I tell my kids all the time, I go like, you guys are at a disadvantage. I mean, on Sundays, I was in Waikiki at the beach. My family was barbecuing and drinking beer, so we were there, to get a spot at Kaimana Beach. You got to leave your house at 4 a.m, right, on Sunday. So we're there at 4 a.m, and we don't leave till 7, 8 o'clock at night. So we're always, on the beach, swimming, doing different things that is just developing you being an athlete.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's a good thing to parents, if you're listening to this.
Yeah.
To do what he says. Then your kid might.
Well, it's hard now if you think about, like I have, all my daughters are volleyball players. So my oldest daughter, Grace, she plays volleyball at Miami, Ohio, in Oxford. But they almost insist they're year-round now, right? Like they have year-round, they have club, they have to play club or you won't get recruited. So it's hard for parents. I think a lot of them would like their kids to be in high school playing different sports. It's just kind of these colleges and stuff have a monopoly over what you have to do to make it in your sport. But you would like to believe like they have to do different sports. But, if they don't, then their club team won't play them. There's all these politics nowadays that everyone goes through. But like you're saying, if you ask my recommendation, it'd be like play a lot of sports.
Yeah, and then see what they're good at maybe.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It'll help you get better at what you want to do.
Everything's just gaining experience.
Yeah, everything is.
Yeah, I love Washington too. We were in Seattle a couple travel episodes ago. Talked to Pa Asabed and Kimo, his brother. Beautiful city, and one of my best friends, Chad, he went to UW as well, so I got to visit the campus. He played on the soccer team.
Okay.
And they just won the national championship recently, so super awesome. And then the football team was in the national championship like 2 years ago. Yeah,
I went to that game in Vegas versus Oregon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Washington versus Oregon, which is a great football game. And Washington was awesome. Like I enjoyed it eventually. Now, I was only there, I left as a true junior. So I was there for 2 years and like 3 or 4 months. But obviously, when you land there, right, like it's raining constantly, which I didn't know about because I went on my recruiting trip. I was only there for 3 days.
If you was from Hilo, you'd be used to that.
Yeah, used to no,
not
from Oahu in Hawaii Kai side. So that rain at 40 or 50 degrees and then playing football in it, and it was tough to adjust to, right? The culture difference between, at the 90s, the time it was grunge, right? It was like Nirvana and Pearl Jam and all those groups. And it was almost like Seattle celebrated like if you weren't successful in life, right? Everybody was just into this grunge culture. So getting there was like a shock for me. And honestly, I wanted out. I wanted out of Seattle for, maybe a year or so. And my mom just kept telling me, like, you're not going anywhere. Like, you're going to stay there. And, she ended up flying up for every game. Like, she never missed one of my college football games. And I think a lot of that was because she knew I needed the support.
Yeah.
Like I just did not like being away from home. I did not like being away from Hawaii. And, there's a few times that like a coach, I remember a coach called home and my Uncle Bruce answered the phone and they were like, Olin's struggling here. He's having a hard time adjusting to the people, the culture, the everything that we got going on here. And my uncle was like, if he's sad, bring him home. Bring him home right now. So my mom would get on the phone and be like, no, you're staying there. But that was a shock, man. And see, like you're saying, Seattle is an amazing city, right? The food there is amazing. It's a great town. But just from a guy who was 18 at the time, leaving Oahu, going to Seattle, I didn't want nothing to do with that place.
Yeah, I mean, it's a total contrast to like growing up on the east side, going to the beach and
Right.
like, having that sun. And, it rains once in a while, but, it's nothing like in Seattle, nothing like Chicago. I'm sure being over there prepared you somewhat for being over here.
Somewhat, like just like a small difference is like, I don't know how it was in your family, but when I grew up, like no one really squeezed your hand hard, right? Like my grandfather then would just like almost dead fish you, right? If you squeezed their
like
hand,
handshakes.
yeah. If they squeezed your hand, if you squeezed
because we kissed on the cheek.
but if you squeezed his hand, like he was not happy, right? Or like staring at somebody in the eye, right? Like that was like for me, it was foreign.
Yeah.
So like when these coaches were like shaking my hand and screaming at me like, what kind of handshake is that? And look me in the eye. And I was like, what? No one does that word. Like something small like that, like irritated me. Like, I don't want to be here. And obviously the weather was, I thought it was brutal. I mean, it was August and it was 50 and rain, right? But I always had the football field to save me. That was always and even now, I mean, it's just a sanctuary for me. I'll go coach kids football. Like everything just makes sense to me there. So I always go back to just playing football. And at that time, that's what saved me. Because if not, like I don't want to be there. They don't want me there unless I'm good at playing football. And they obviously saw that I had potential to do something. So they kept me there. They kept me around on the team, let me make my mistakes, let me grow up. And, I'm always thankful for the fact that people didn't quit on me because some of them probably should have because I was not doing anything to stay in Seattle.
Yeah. Well, I guess you were able to take out all your aggression and anything going on in life on the football field, right?
Yeah. On the field, it was just a place like, I just had fun doing it, right?
Yeah.
It just the game always has made sense to me. Whether people call that being a natural or whatever it may be, I just always love being out there, competing with my teammates, winning, trying to develop my game. Always felt comfortable working on that as say like a skill set. Like I always felt comfortable doing those things on the field. That was easy for me. It was just everything else in the dorm rooms after, them days, there wasn't cell phones, right? There wasn't, you had to have, 50 quarters to call home to Hawaii. And it was like, insert your quarters now or else, the phone hangs up. And, there wasn't like we came from a ton of money, right? I didn't have a ton of money in my pockets to call people, to talk to people. And it was just, I'm sure a lot of local kids from Hawaii would tell you the same thing. Like they struggle adapting to a culture in another city and another state.
Yeah. So when you were away, was your wife with you? Because you two are high school sweethearts.
Yeah, high school
right?
sweethearts, but she was younger than I was.
Oh, okay.
So she's Wendy is 2 years younger than me. She went to Sacred Hearts.
Okay.
While I was at St. Louis.
That's what I was guessing. We guessed Sacred Hearts because like that's.
And actually, her brother Bill was my offensive line coach.
Oh, okay.
At St. Louis, and he played offensive line for Portland State. But I remember when she called me to take her to her sophomore banquet, I was like, did you ask Bill? I didn't want to get in trouble with the coach, right? But she came to Seattle U my last year at Washington, but I declared early for the NFL draft and actually played my last college game was in the Aloha Bowl. So I think that was 729 tickets for that game for family, but I got to end my college career where my high school career was.
So cool.
So I played at All-State. We played against Michigan State, played against Nick Saban and their team, and got to end my career there. I remember going home, and I told my grandfather at the time, I said, I'm thinking about leaving early. And he said, will school always be there? And I said, yeah. He said, then I don't know what the decision is. So that's when I decided to leave my true junior year at Washington to go to the NFL.
Nice. So what was the process like, preparing for the NFL, getting drafted, and then were there certain teams or areas that you want to go? I mean, I know us, Hawaii boys, we want to go to like California because it's close, or Washington. Nobody really wants, like, Dylan Gabriel having to go to Cleveland Browns. Right. I'm sure that wasn't top of his
No.
list.
Well, I mean, but I'm sure if you ask him, like anywhere in the NFL, man, like honestly, when I got to that point where it was like you're the top center in the draft, right? Going into the combine, that's what people had said, and that's why I had left early, just getting that feedback from people. But it was like it's crazy you ask that, because even then, my grandfather ran a gym in Coolio, and he ran out of his carport and his garage. His name is George Perry. He actually trained NFL football players from 1970 to Dominic Raiola was his last one in 2014. That's how long guys had trained at that gym and played in the NFL. So I wanted to stay home and train there. That's why I didn't want to get flown anywhere. And I signed with Priority Sports out of Chicago, not knowing I was coming to Chicago. Mark Bartelstein and Rick Smith ran Priority Sports. And I was like, so Rich Miano was my speed coach.
Oh, nice, Rich.
So that's who I trained. I trained with my grandfather and Rich Miano. And Larry Goes, who is the head of Raymond James in Hawaii, still my financial advisor, was my financial advisor. So that was my team at the time. It was Priority Sports. My grandfather was my strength coach. Rich Miano was training me at Cook Field for the 40.
Nice.
Okay, so which wasn't the greatest idea, because to get to the combine, I had to fly like 15 hours. So I flew 15 hours to the combine. So that was actually Hawaii is where I did all my training. And I remember people telling me, like, you got to go actually prepare for the NFL combine with people who do this. And I was like, I don't care. Like I just always had this feeling, and it's not like, I don't think it's like this anymore, but I just always had this feeling, like, if I was good in football, I don't know what else mattered. Like, if I got ready, if I got strong, my grandfather always had a saying, like, there's no substitute for power. So we trained there, and his gym was really my biggest leverage point in the NFL. Just being able to go there and train with guys. I had like Shane Oliveira, who was a starting center at UH, La'anui Correa, who played defensive end at UH. I had Dominic Raiola, who was my friend from, 7 or 8 years old. And we always trained together. And he ended up playing 14 years in the NFL, right? And everyone knows his sons and stuff now, but we've known each other our whole lives, right? So I literally trained in Hawaii, flew to the combine, basically bombed the combine. Didn't do very good. I mean, I did good in the bench press. I did good in some jumping and some short shuttles.
What was your 40 time?
I think it was like 5'3" or something. It was just not very. It was not
still
very,
better than the average guy.
Yeah, wow.
People think they can run a good 40 until they run a good 40. They run a 40.
Yeah,
and it's like 5, 6.
And then I was like in like they interview you, and I was like in interviews, and just with the way you're taught growing up in Hawaii, they were like, how do you think you're gonna do in the NFL? I was like, I got no idea. I got no clue what's going to happen when I get there. And guys were showing up in like suits, and I had shorts and t-shirt, right? And I was like, and all the reports came out after. It's like Kreutz has dropped in the draft, right? Because I didn't know. But you're talking about, so San Fran needed a center that year. And if you grew up in Hawaii, with Joe Montana and Jesse Sapolu and all those guys who I watched growing up, right? And I was like, so my brother, we had told everybody I was in Coolio for the draft, and all my family came over. I was at my grandfather's house there, and told everybody, don't call during the draft, because I'm waiting. Them days they called the house phone. There was no, and the phone rings while San Fran's on the clock. And I pick up the phone, and it's my brother. And my brother Otis goes, "Hey, did you get drafted yet?" And I go, "Bro, like, I don't want to swear on your hard podcast, but I was like, bro, if you ever..."
You can swear.
Yeah, anyway, I was like, don't fucking call that. Anyway, I literally thought, I remember going upstairs, and because two centers went. I think the guy's name was Atlanta, and San Fran needed a center. And them days, it was the first 3 rounds on the first day. So we started watching in Hawaii, obviously early in the morning when the draft started. And now we're at the end of the third round. I think it's 7 or 8 hours in. And I remember going upstairs and I told my wife now, Wendy, who was with me, was my girlfriend at the time, I said, I'm not getting drafted today. Like, not on the first day, because all the teams that needed centers had taken somebody. Halen went to Atlanta. Actually, Jeremy Newberry was a center at Cal. I was just at a volleyball tournament in Phoenix. I was hanging out with him. But he got drafted to San Fran. And I was like, I'm not. And then the phone rang, and it was the Chicago Bears. So I
wasn't even on your radar.
No, I didn't think they. I'd met with them at the combine, but it wasn't one of the teams people said needed a center. But because they had a center here, Chris Valerio, and then Jerry Fontenot was here before, but I didn't think they needed a center. So I thought the first day was gone, and we had this big party in Kuli'o, and I was like, this is the most embarrassing moment. Like, all these people came to see me get drafted. I'm not getting drafted today, but I did end up getting drafted, and that's how I ended up in Chicago.
Wow. So after getting drafted, how long from that point were you in Hawaii until you had to go to?
So at that time, the mini camp was in June, I think. So it was like a month or two, and I just continued training and continued the training. That I start the clock.
I realized I didn't start the clock. I smelled a pizza. It's smelling good.
Time for a sheet. When is the shishi pizza
break coming up soon?
Shishi pizza break. But I just stayed there and then came here in June for a rookie mini camp. Went back and then came back, and then the Bears used to be in Platteville, Wisconsin, which is actually 5 hours from where we are. So we had to drive all the way through Wisconsin to this small college up there in Wisconsin. And that's where really my career started, was just that. And even then was another adjustment, right? Because like I saw, when I got drafted, I was 20. So I was still young. And then, my wife, Wendy, now came with me, and she was 18. And we had no idea. We talk about it now. Like, we had no idea what we were doing. Right? We're just here trying to make it in the NFL.
Wow. So that's crazy. So you were drafted at 20, and you probably never, growing up in Hawaii, especially in Kuli'o or around that area, you probably never even had a sip of alcohol before. That's crazy. So you were in the NFL around these guys, and you couldn't even drink alcohol.
Not one sip.
Wow.
Yeah. My grandfather used to always say, after your first beer, everyone is two. Not one. Not in Washington, never. But yeah, just ended up here. Obviously Illinois was crazy. The city it's an amazing town, but the culture is so different than Hawaii, than even Seattle, right? This is a huge city here. It's a fast-paced life. There's literally 4 seasons here. Like, I had no idea about the Chicago winter, right? Which is something to deal with, right?
Yeah.
As you
well,
go
you gave us a heads up. You're like, don't come at these days.
Yeah.
Come between May and September or whatever you said.
Yeah.
So I think we're here in June. I think it's pretty good so far.
This is as good as it gets. June, and these are actually pretty hot days. So like, even like in a couple of days, it'll be 75.
Yeah. So. Well, I know because we left the other day and I was going out in shorts, and they're like, "No, you gotta wear pants," and everybody's wearing pants. I'm like, it's gonna be hot outside. I want to wear shorts, and I wore pants, and it was hot.
So. I think it was 100 degrees the day you guys got here, wasn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it was humid.
I think it was close. It was hot, man.
I wasn't expecting it coming out of the airport doors, and it was kind of like that. It was like a dry, stagnant. I don't know how you would explain it. Yeah. Not like the Hawaii ocean breeze. It's like different.
Almost like when the trade winds stop.
Yeah,
that's
what
it's like.
It felt like.
It just sits on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no like you're waiting for that breeze to come through, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
So like what do we call it? Kona winds? Like that's like it just sits on you, man. So, but it's not that hot often here. It's not you guys just came on the one day, and like now, if it's hot like that, the storms are coming.
Yeah, that was surprising. So the other day we were here, it was super sunny. Went to the Bean. What did we do? We went to the Fossil Museum, and it was just a great day. And we were planning to go to the White Sox game, and then we went to Chinatown around like 2 or 3 o'clock. Super sunny. We go in the store. We got some good food. Yeah. We got some. I bought nunchucks over there.
Yeah.
And then we come out. We go in the store. It's sunny. We go out, and it's swirling winds, like trees, like trash blowing everywhere. Like it was crazy. I've never seen that. I was like, is the world ending?
Yeah.
And then a tree fell down, lightning, like the things on the roofs looked like it was gonna come off.
The sky changes, right? The sky got dark. It was like nighttime outside.
Yeah, it was weird. And then I think Sean and Lincoln, they were ordering some drink at a matcha spot, and the workers just like, it's gonna pass soon. Everybody's super calm, and we're thinking like, oh, this is probably just a normal Wednesday for these people over here. And then we got back to our Airbnb. We're like, oh, we're not going to the game for sure. Definitely not going to the game. And then like an hour later, it clears up, and it's perfectly fine at the game.
Yeah, it blows right through.
That was crazy.
Yeah. I remember, I think I was telling you before we came on, the first time I heard a tornado siren.
Yeah.
I called my teammates. I was like, what the fuck is that? And he was like, oh, just get in your tub. If I go, that doesn't seem safe though. Like I know nothing about a tornado, right? Growing up. So, but like you're saying, it'll be for like 30 minutes and then everything's gone. Trees on the ground and everything, but it's clear, right? It just blows right over you.
Yeah. And then, but I was happy it cleared because we got to go to the White Sox game and they won. We also learned Green Bay sucks.
Green Bay sucks. Always.
And F Green Bay. F Green Bay.
Yep.
Green Bay sucks.
Yep. That rivalry is real.
Yeah. I was like, we were confused because we're at a baseball game.
Right.
We're like, Green Bay? I mean, I don't even know what Green Bay doesn't have a baseball team.
It's the one thing everybody in Illinois can agree on. No matter where you are, if you want to put everybody in a good mood, just start chanting Green Bay sucks, and Green Bay will do the same thing to us, right? So theirs is Bears still suck. Whereas is Green Bay, and I remember, my son Josh was a senior at Illinois this year. He played at Illinois. My other boy James plays there too. But we were sitting on a table, and his four sisters looked at him and was like, Josh, there's a chance you could go to Green Bay. And he said, yeah. And they were like, we can't do it. We can't wear the clothes. We can't cheer for you.
So Colts were like, how do you feel about that?
That's better for the family. It's better for than Green Bay, right?
I mean, because you played in the Super Bowl.
For me, like the rivalry here is just so intense, right? Like you play them twice a year. The proximity, you're right by each other. The two teams just don't like each other at all. And then my kids all grew up here. So they really grew up in it, right? And obviously I was playing for the Bears in 2011, but they're really like, they were like, Josh, we just couldn't cheer for you at all, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it was actually like, I remember my 10-year-old having a serious conversation with me. Leah was like, Dad, like, would you put on? And I was like, yeah, if Josh is playing there, obviously you're going to support him. And she was like, I just can't do it.
That's crazy. But he got signed with the Colts, right?
He's with the Colts. Today's their last day of mini camp. He'll come back until they have camp.
Okay. How's he doing?
I guess good. We'll figure. They don't like for linemen right now. There's no pads.
Okay.
It's kind of just like like we call it the underwear Olympics. It's like not. It's not really. It's not real football for linemen. But he's there. He's gonna get his shot, and we'll find out what happens.
Okay, right on. Yeah. Well, we'll talk more. We got some social media questions. We'll take a shishi, maybe pizza break.
For sure.
I can spell it. Can we get a piece on just so I can show the deep dish on the camera before we take
from
a
Lou
shishi break?
Malnati's really good pizza.
Oh, that's where we went the first day.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right there. We got it. Thanks, Sean. So this is deep dish. Luminati. Oh, double. Oh, sorry.
Here we go. Show it to him.
So this is deep dish, and it was our first time having it. So can you explain deep dish? Because I didn't understand it until.
Oh, you would need somebody else, man.
Oh, look at that. I don't know.
To explain deep dish.
So it's like the sauce is on top, or the cheese is on the bottom. Is that basically what it is? Okay.
You got some head nods. I'll believe it. I'll believe it.
But yeah, it's super good. We had it. I know you guys can't smell it or taste it, but it's gonna be good, and we'll let you know how it is after our break.
After 175 years, some people still think we're just a ranch.
And we just farm all day.
What they don't realize is we wear many hats. And that's just how we roll.
You just might see some old friends.
Or make some new ones.
So come hang with us.
Drive on out to the country.
And get that epic snap.
No matter what you're looking for, come discover where legends are made.
All right, we're back from a quick shishi break and first ever pizza break here on the Keep It Low podcast. Shout out to Mindy at Illuminati's, Cap's wife.
Yep, Cap's wife.
Hooked it up with some pizza, salad, and some Ono food over here. And we're going to eat some more later, but we just had a little sample. And shout out to Recap for having us in the studio. Olin only had to twist a couple arms for us to be here. So super grateful for that and super grateful for you.
Yeah, well, the Recap is a big show in Chicago. David Kaplan.
He's a legend.
He's a legend, Chicago radio legend. Ended up being a good friend. I do a podcast with him for the Bears, so know him pretty well. Really good guy, good family, and obviously, like you said, thanks to his wife Mindy, the pizza was amazing.
I know, it's crazy. The first place we went to get deep dish is Illuminati.
Yeah.
And then we see it pop up again. So I guess we made the right choice.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Shout out to our COE, Coordinator of Events, Faith. That's her title on the trip for tax purposes. All right. So next, let's get into the social media fan questions. Okay. We'll get into all kinds of things. We got some questions about football and Bears, of course. So, but we'll start off with this question from J. Manumalega. This person says, favorite bodyboarding surfing beach in Hawaii, After Beach Manapua or Simon?
Famous bodyboarding. Favorite would be Sherwood's for me. Sandy's is
a little bit too much.
When it gets rocking, man, I don't know. I turn into like a duck dive specialist. I'll go in, but I'm mostly just avoiding. I'm always just avoiding it. And then after that, I mean, I usually just go to Zippy's and get a zip pack.
Oh, nice. I just had one recently.
Yeah.
I'm also a Korean fried chicken guy, all rice, but a couple nights ago, I was feeling the zip pack. You need that variety sometimes.
Yes, fried chicken, a terry beef. Everything is just it all works out when you get that. Right after the beach.
Zippy's, they're opening in Vegas, a lot of places in Vegas, so maybe Chicago next.
You never know.
Yeah, you
never know.
All right.
Local food does good here. Really good.
Yeah, you said there's one, what is it?
There's a lot of different places. The Local Boy in Highwood is really good. It's close to my house, but there's it's popping up all over the place now, and they do really well no matter who opens it, no matter who's doing it.
Awesome. Well, go check that out if you're in the area, and if you're in Chicago and you want deep dish pizza, Illuminati for sure. All right, next question comes from, let me put this up. Team Hardaways. This person says, what was your favorite pancake block?
Favorite pancake block? We were in the NFC Championship game, and we were playing the New Orleans Saints. And
okay, next story.
That's why I mentioned it. but there was a play in the third quarter where I was blocking, and Roberto Garza, right guard, me and him had what they call a double team block, where we're working together on the nose guard up to a linebacker, and Cedric Benson literally jumps over us to go into the end zone. Wow. And it pretty much sealed the game. So obviously winning the NFC Championship game in Illinois, in Chicago, getting the George Halas Trophy, but that block, I do remember that block.
Nice. I mean, it's so significant.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's crazy you bring up those names because I recognize those names because that was a time where I was playing a lot of Madden. So I actually knew all the players. And when, as just a casual fan or people who just watch or play fantasy sports, you don't really know like the defensive linemen or the offensive linemen. But back in the days, I knew like so many of the players' names just because of Madden.
But they do like the random team, right?
You could do like the fantasy drafts. And then just because when you're playing,
were you playing people online? Remember when that came out? Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
You could generate like your team. That was awesome.
But then you would just, because the circle would go on the players and it would show their last name. So you'd actually get to know the players that aren't just a skill position.
We were playing it all through camp. Remember they had those PSPs. Remember the PSPs?
Yeah, the PSPs, yeah.
So on the plane, we would play Madden against.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so we were playing, we were all playing it. So
nice.
that game, it lives on. I remember meeting with Madden, John Madden, and he would give you a game. Like he would give you one of those games after he met with you in like a production meeting.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you still have it?
I don't know if I have that game.
It might have been in your storage.
It might have been.
It might be gone.
It's gone now.
Olin told me a story off the podcast where he had all his like memorabilia, this stuff in a storage, and he forgot about it, and they auctioned it off to random people.
Yep. And then everyone was on social media like trying to sell it back to me, and I kept telling them, "Why do you think I have it in storage? I don't want it."
See, when you have so many accolades like him, you forget about the other ones. All right, next one comes from Kai's one. This person says, who was your biggest nose tackle rival you faced in the NFL?
There was a guy in Minnesota. His name was Pat Williams. And he was a rival. He was a really good football player. He was a tough matchup. He started in Buffalo, playing behind a guy who I learned a lot about blocking from, Ted Washington, who in my opinion might be the best nose guard ever to play the game. But Ted was 400 pounds, but Pat was his backup. Learned how to play nose guard from Ted Washington, who ended up here in Chicago for us for about 2 or 3 years. And then Pat went to Minnesota, and at that time they had Kevin Williams too. So they had Pat Williams and Kevin Williams on the inside, but me and Pat would go at it a lot. And really it was just hated him at the time, but it was just that he was good, right? And we would talk trash in the newspaper about each other and always got up for that game. He was a big rival. And we were an inside run team. We didn't have a lot of options, right? We had to run the ball between the tackles. We didn't throw the ball very well or run outside very well. So blocking the nose guard in our offense was really big.
Yeah.
But to move him was almost impossible, man. The guy was a really good football player and a good rivalry to like, he kept me on my toes. He kept me getting better and wanting to play. I remember we went to play Minnesota in 2005. And Lovey wanted I had sprained my ankle in 2005. We were in the playoffs against Carolina. Carolina came here and beat us. Lovey wanted to keep me out of the game because he was like, you got to get your ankle well for the playoffs. And I said, bro, like, I am not missing playing against Pat Williams. Like, I will not sit out while he plays the game. So that's how bad I want to play against that guy. So Lovey finally let me play for like almost 3 quarters.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just speaking on injuries as professional athletes, we see people come out, I don't know, maybe they roll an ankle, they fall down weird, and they go back to the locker, they come back. How much pain are these NFL players really playing through? And that's just in the game, that the injuries we see, not even the things we don't see.
Most of the guys, you get to about week 5, 6, or 7 in the NFL, just the who you're going against, the competition, how, a lot of people will say, okay, what's the difference between college and NFL? And I always answer, it's just the amount of violence these guys can produce, the speed they play at, right? And obviously the human body wasn't meant to pad up and run into each other all day long. So a lot of these guys are playing through, they are playing through a lot of pain now. I don't think they give as many painkillers as they used to give, but they'll give you something in the back to play with. But it still is, it's a tough game, and a lot of times you got to fight through some injuries.
Yeah, they say it's like getting into a car crash every weekend.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah. It's close. It's a physical game, but it's a fun game, and that's the fun. Like, running into each other is the fun part. I always tell guys, if you want to like describe what you're doing to somebody without saying you play football, right? So I always tell, okay, I put a helmet on my head, and then I run head first into that guy for like 80 plays a game, right? So, but yeah, there is obviously pain to deal with, right? We watch the game and that, but it's still a fun game.
Yeah, and just as competitors too, it's hard to keep somebody on the sideline, right?
It is. Like, once the game starts, I mean, you don't want to not be out there with your teammates playing.
Yeah, one of my biggest regrets and why I'm not in the NFL right now is because I sprained my ankle when I was in high school. I don't know why you're laughing, but did somebody say something funny? Anyway, so the reason why I'm not in the NFL because when I was in high school at Kaiser, I moved there to play football. I was a kicker and receiver.
Okay.
We sucked. But I was the second leading scorer.
Who was the head
points.
coach at the time?
This guy, I think it was Will
Lobenon. Yeah, I know Will well. He went to St. Louis. He trained with us at my grandfather's house. He coaches in Samoa now.
Oh, no way.
He's been there for a while. He does a great job up there, developing kids out there.
So that's why I moved. I was only training with them in the summer because I was training with the UH kicker. And then I ended up just staying because they're like, you should just move here and better competition. They just moved up to the red. So like Koku Farrington.
I used to go up there and help Will.
Really?
I bet you were on the field.
No way.
Yeah, I used to go up there and help Will. And then Rich Miano, I think, coached there too.
After.
Yeah, I'd go there and help Rich. So, but yeah, Will's a really good friend of mine.
Yeah. So anyway, so I got injured playing, not even in the game, just we were playing like Sharks and Minnows. and somebody ran into me from the back. It's just a fun like game. That's the only way a kicker could get hurt. But the whole time, so I was close with the D.
What did you play before football? Did you play soccer? Okay.
Soccer, yeah. And
so
then
you
you
transitioned to football.
Yeah. So soccer. Then I liked football more. I played like QB and DB.
So you played football for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since sixth grade.
Okay. Yeah.
Then I loved football. I wanted to play in college. Then because I was fast, so I played receiver and then kicker. But anyways, every time you have to clean the locker, like at the end of practice, I had two duties because I was receivers and quarterbacks, and then D-line and kicker. So I was also with the D-line boys. And this coach, I think he might listen to the podcast, Coach Dubs, I think. We made a deal that in the end of the season, I would be able to go D-line.
Okay.
In the game.
Did you get in?
I never got in because I got hurt. But I always...
That would be good film to watch.
I felt like I could. Like I was quick
enough.
enough.
So what was your move?
I don't know. I never.
So if you came off the ball,
if I,
what were you gonna do?
If I were to play, so I go 3-point stance. Okay. Ready.
So right hand down.
Right hand down. Okay. I'm looking.
Feet square, or you got one?
I'm like kind of like a receiver stance. One and staggered.
Okay.
Okay. I'll be looking at the guy, not scared at all.
Oh no way.
Not scared at all.
No way.
I think what I do is, I'd go like this with my right hand up, straight from the ground. Go like this, like I'm gonna go in. Spin to the side, but go low, like a low spin.
Okay.
Go right under him.
So you're faking the rip.
Yeah,
spinning.
Spinning.
Okay.
On the ground, kind of like a ninja roll.
Okay.
Roll, tuck forward.
You go ninja roll to shoulder roll.
Ninja roll to shoulder roll.
Okay.
Get up at the quarterback sack.
Guarantee.
Yeah, guarantee. What do you think about
that? End the game. It's 3rd and 8 in the state championship. Against their best lineman.
Yeah.
Division I guy. But how could he be ready for that move?
How would we know it wouldn't work? Because I never had a chance to do it.
Exactly.
So we don't know. But that's the reason why I'm not in the NFL.
Bless are the storytellers for they tell the story.
Thanks for being so nice to me, Olin. Thanks for supporting me.
Anything's possible, man. Yeah.
All right. Next question comes from... Sorry, guys. That was a really long story.
That was a good one.
Next question comes from King Adam, a Kaiser grad. He says, name your top 3 toughest matchups between 2000 and 2010.
2000 and 2010. Well, I named one in Pat Williams. In 2000, Warren Sapp was still in Tampa Bay. He was tough matchup. Now, he didn't line up right on me, but just him, he just changed the game. He's just really good football player, right? And then Sue was young when I played. There was a guy named Sean Rogers in Detroit. He played it for Texas. Him and Casey Hampton were teammates. Sean was 6'5", maybe 370, 380, and just a really good football player. And obviously a guy that size, at my size, was hard to handle. So those guys were tough matchups. It's hard to leave people out because it's just every week is.
I mean that era too, the 2000s was like some of the greatest defensive players.
Every
of all
week
time.
Was something, man. Every week was
Ray
tough.
Lewis era.
Yeah.
Ed Reed.
Ray was good, and in front of Ray Lewis was Saragusa. Maki Komeatu played in front of Ray Lewis for a while. He was a really good nose guard. They had a guy named Greg there who played. I mean, it was you go to play the Baltimore Ravens. You just strap up twice because you knew it was going to be a fight. Yeah. The whole day was going to fight. And Ray, the thing about Ray was he was aggressive and he was tough, but he was so smart, man. Like he knew you would line up and he would say, watch, power, or counter to the left. And in my mind, I'm thinking, fuck, that is what we're running. Like he would call the plays off your formation, off your motion, off down and distance. He was just a really good football player for his team. But I think a lot of people see his tackling and the things. I remember one time I heard him say, they asked him how much film does he watch? And he says, I watch film until I see what I need to see. Like he didn't have a time limit on it, which means he watched a lot of film. And you could tell when you played him. Mm-hmm.
That's why he's one of the greats.
Yeah.
All right. And then next one comes from Mr. _Oaks. This person says, why did you not move back to Hawaii?
Yeah, that's a great question. I always wanted, like, that's where I wanted to. I always thought I was going home. You know, before my kids went to school, as soon as the season ended, I'd go back. I bought a house in Kalama Valley. I'd go back for 3 or 4 months. And two, like, you know, sometimes the Bears had to call me. Like, you have to come back.
Yeah.
You know, but when I retired in 2011, I came back from New Orleans. My oldest son was in high school already. My younger son was in 8th grade. My daughter, Grace, was in 6th grade. And it just didn't seem right to take him out of high school and move him back. But now I always said to myself, okay, eventually I'm going to get back. But then they ended up at University of Illinois, my 2 oldest ones. So they both play football there. We drive down there, watch them play football. My daughter plays volleyball at Miami of Ohio and Oxford. So, like, everything is in this area that they do. So I guess the answer is just kids. You know, being a dad. You know, I always tell them they ruin my dreams. So kids ruined all my dreams, but that's why we're still here.
Yeah. Do you ever plan to go back?
I'd love to, but I would imagine it's just going to keep being, you know, kids and grandkids
else, yeah.
and just everyone is doing stuff in this area, right? So I'm hoping at some point I can get back and live there, but I have a feeling even if I get there, I'd always have to leave anyway.
Yeah, come back here.
Yeah,
I mean, this is home now.
Come back to, like, you know, even if move to maybe, I'd like to go somewhere warmer at some point, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, cool. This question comes from a past podcast guest, Kai Boy Kamaka. He's got a fight coming up in July, so good luck to him. He says, is there anything specific that you can pinpoint, experience / person / or event, that you can say was a turning point for you to give you the mindset to become who you are as an athlete / father / coach?
Yeah, a turning point. First of all, much respect to Cowboy Kamaka.
Yeah.
I watch him fight. He's a great fighter. I enjoy watching him play. You know, just my family, my mom was a hard worker. She taught for 40 years, right? She was part of Partners in Development. She had a school. She was a director at Pope Elementary there. She ran the program for families and stuff for Waimanalo families. And just she was always the turning point for me, how hard she worked. Watching her go to school while I was in school, the way she supported us, the way she worked hard, that was always, like, her mindset is really the mindset I take with me wherever I go with whatever I do, right? Because she always did things all out, and she was the nicest lady. She was so nice to everybody. I always say, buddy, she was never that nice to me, right? She was tough, and then you're talking about, like, laying on the field, like, people getting hurt. I remember one time I was on the field, and she was like, son, don't ever do that again. Don't ever lay on the field again. She was just that kind of toughness she brought in, the way she worked and the way she approached life every day. It was really just a turning point of me in everything I do.
So shout out to all the people supporting us in life and the moms out there.
The moms, for sure.
We love you, moms. All right. And then he follows up and he says, through experience, I was someone who was always away from my family, going private school in Kamehameha. So being away from my family in college and having a little unconventional upbringing, like normal kids' schedule, may have been a difference. Now, after living in Las Vegas fighting, I think it played a big role. Could you pinpoint something that separated you to become the person you are?
Yeah, definitely. My grandfather's gym.
Yeah.
Right. Like we went in there, and the way my grandfather trained us and the partners I had, and just the mentality and the intensity that was in that gym all the time, whether it be the uncles who came to train or the other kids who would come, or my grandfather pushing us. And just, we had 25 to 30 guys at the time in Coolio. We would train all the time together. There was a certain work ethic that was expected of you. And after we trained, my grandfather had 3 dogs, and we would have to always sweep and mop and clean up the whole gym and put everything back. And the respect that you had to carry in that gym for everyone there, and helping everybody out and learning different ways, and just what was acceptable and was not acceptable. And at my grandfather's gym at the time, like, you were told when you were stepping out of line. So that for me was a huge, like, I'd like to call it like a leverage point. It was a point that I gained advantage on people. I don't think a lot of NFL players had places to go and train like that at the time. You could go and get into an air-conditioned facility anytime. But that gym was, 100 degrees most time when you're training. We're training with heavy weights. My grandfather had 200-pound dumbbells. We had everything we needed. Yeah, we had everything we needed in that gym, right? So that was a turning point for me getting to go. I started training with my dad when I was younger, but when my mom left my dad, I moved in with my grandfather and trained there my whole career. So just the guys who were in there who taught us the way, who taught us about life, that taught us how to act, what's supposed to do. I mean, I remember I would mop the floors in there, like I would mop the gym, and my grandfather would always be like the highest paid mopping guy in the world, right? So I'd always get teased. And, like another story is before I left in 2010 was the year he passed away, and he came downstairs, and I would always go say bye to him before I left for the season. And he said, and I see, Grandpa's came to say bye to you, and he could barely breathe at the time. He was getting sicker, and he was like, what, they send a private jet for you because you the fucking man. Like, that's how he was. So they keep you humble like all the time, right? Yeah, it just keeps you humble all the time, and really was, it was my ground zero. Is where I would go and reset and get ready for every year. And that place, it was a turning point for me, not only getting there to train, but every year when I would come back.
That's so cool. I mean, and if people aren't familiar with like Kuli'o'o, I mean, there's some legendary families that come from that area, and it's a super rooted community as well, and everybody's tight, everybody's cousins. I know a few people, Correas,
the Correas,
Noahs, Perry. I went to school with a bunch of those guys.
The Canberras right across the street, for sure.
They got the craziest parties over there. They shut down the whole block.
Our New Year's Eve party was...
I've gotten slippers stolen from parties I've been there. I remember one time, senior year of high school, we went over there. They're like, I think it was our friend Lorenzo or something. He was having a party over there. I just got my new Reefs. Reef slippers is like $40-$50 too. Like,
the can opener on the bottom.
The can opener. I don't drink.
Who uses it?
I had the can opener.
Why would they put a can opener on the bottom of your shoe?
It was. They thought it was a good idea. But I remember going there. Oh man, I come out. Wasn't there. And then I think, if I remember this correctly, somebody was on the street and he like, this is it. Or like, I got your slippers, and ran away. Like that's
your fault for taking expensive slippers.
I know, I shouldn't have done that. But now I'm locals all day, every day now. All right. Next question comes.
Hail coming down. You hear it outside?
That's hail?
That's hail, I think.
Oh, wow.
The storm is coming. That's hail.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the mics, but there's hail. A little bit. Well, you got the true Chicago ambiance now.
No doubt.
Next question comes from Sean_Cabais, our videographer. He was thinking, he was concocting some questions last night.
Okay.
He says, Spam musubi or Chicago hot dog?
Spam musubi.
Always.
Yeah.
From where?
From home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Homemade kind.
Homemade kind.
Yeah. And then he says, favorite wrestling move, and can Kamaka be the demo? I hope the answer is no.
I don't know if I'm still capable, but I did like the arm drag to the body lock, and step over trip was my move when I did wrestle. So that is the move. I mean, we could demo, but maybe that'll be
our promo.
Yeah,
we'll see. Okay, we'll have some time to
after
think about
pizza.
it.
I don't know if we should be doing that.
Yeah, maybe before pizza. After we digest a little bit. All right, and then last question comes from BJ Abate.
BJ
Sabate.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know who that is?
Yeah, it's my good friend.
BJ Sabate. This person says, fave memory from Bears.
I think I just gave it to you. The block I had for the NFC Championship game, and I think I've told BJ this. Shout out to BJ and his group. They sang at my father-in-law's awesome. Celebration of life at the house up there. So, but that NFC Championship game, man, like that was I think that was my 10th or 11th year here, and the snow started coming down at Soldier Field, and they gave Mrs. McCaskey, who is George Hallis's daughter, the George Hallis Trophy. So that memory of that day, I remember, speaking of the Saints, they were really good that year. But I went downstairs to watch film on them, and their last game on grass, I think it was week 14. They went on a run. to get to us here in Soldier Field. Thank God we had them at home, because if we would have went to New Orleans, it would have been a different story. They were good. It was Reggie Bush and Marquise Colston and Drew Brees, and they were stacked.
Every Henderson.
Yeah, but their defense, Brian Young and Will Smith, and they were stacked too on the D-line, but they were just a different team on grass. So I watched them against the Steelers. I was downstairs in my basement, and I came upstairs and I told my wife Wendy, I said, "Are you ready to go to the Super Bowl?" And she was like, the Saints are good. I go, not on grass. I knew at Soldier Field we would beat them. So obviously winning the NFC champ for me, we lost the Super Bowl to the Colts, but that was the pinnacle of my career.
That was just a magical year too, and then starting the Super Bowl off with the kick return.
Man,
one of the coolest starts of a Super Bowl ever.
He was so good, man. Hess was, the Soldier Boy would hit his Soldier Field, like no one was sitting on the bench. I mean, we were like fans playing with this Hall of Fame. I think he's the first ever Hall of Fame kick returner. That's how good he was, though. I mean, he would just every time if he caught the ball in the middle of the field, he was gone.
Yeah,
like, I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
So he's just a really good and bigger than that, really good teammate. Good teammate, really good guy. And was just dynamic to play with.
I don't think we'll ever see anybody like Devin Hester again, especially with the kickoff rules.
Well, he's got a son down there, man.
Hey,
you never know. His son is good.
Yeah.
He's coaching football in Florida now, and his son is really good. Wow. So
I just know he was 100 on Madden.
Remember that speed.
And I would do the kickoff or punt returns, and I was able to go around this. I'd catch it, go one side, run around the whole thing, and nobody could catch him. You could literally run around the field in Madden, and nobody would catch him.
Crazy thing was the games were like that too.
Yeah,
that's what he was doing.
Yeah,
I think one time we were when the Rams were in St. Louis, we were up by whatever we were up by, so they were going to onside kick. So we went hands team. Hands means there's no blockers out there. It's all just receivers and stuff. They kick it to Hester. He scored with the hands team. So they kicked it deep, and he scored a touchdown. I think that was like his second or third touchdown that game.
He didn't even need any blocking.
He didn't need any blocking. That guy was we would say, like, okay, when the meeting ends in the NFL, the coaches all leave and the players talk, and we would say, hey, tomorrow I got 300 on a kickoff return. And everyone would throw in money. You know how much money he made the guys on this kick? Like, eventually you're like, hey, I got like $50 on this kickoff return. They were like potting, like they were splitting like $5,000 to $10,000 on kickoff return. Because before it was rare, right? So you just say, exactly. I know, I'll put $1,000 in on that. Like, there's my, but he was actually like, I had guys tell me like, Olin, I would tell my coach, take me off offense before you take me off kickoff return. Because they knew they would make money.
Have you ever done a kick return in your life?
Like me return the ball?
Like were you ever at a
No,
point?
I was on the wedge.
Okay. There was never a point.
There was never a point.
I did it once in Pop Warner, I remember.
Yeah.
Because I was in kick return. I think I was playing quarterback or something that time. But they put me as a kick returner because somebody was out. So and it came to me. It wasn't supposed to.
Were
come
you
to
a
me.
single or were you two guys?
There's two guys, but it was supposed to go to it was supposed to go to one side.
Okay.
Like I was just the other guy that was.
You were gonna block.
Yeah,
you were like the lead blocker. Okay.
I don't even remember because I didn't practice. They just like go if it comes to you, catch it, like that kind.
Okay.
And then I remember it's harder than it looks.
Hard,
and
man.
there's so many people coming at
when
you.
that ball's people are running.
And I, oh no, this is in high school. I did kick return in Pop Warner, but this is high school, and so I was ready, and then I go and like I guess the wall's over here, but then you got guys coming to you, so you're just like juking in any way, running any direction, and then after the coach is like, "Come on, you're supposed to follow the wall," and I'm like, I don't know. Everybody came at me so fast, and
I was just trying to stay safe, coach.
Yeah,
trying to stay safe.
It is a hard thing to do, especially punt. I've never done punt returns, but punt returns having to do that while guys are flying at you.
Yeah, he had this like
insane.
We would go in and watch the film. I wasn't on any special teams. But we'd go in
that means he was really good, guys.
No, that means as a center, I was too small to do like field goal and stuff. But we would go in and watch the film to watch him. He was like setting jukes up on guys 20 yards away. And we would say to him like, how did you see that guy? Like you could see him like setting this guy up. Like the guy is like the things he would see, like his speed was amazing. But his vision, like you're saying, of the guys coming at him and setting them up when you get to slow the film down, like it was unbelievable the things he was doing out there.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Legend.
it was cool.
Hall of Famer. Hopefully we'll see you in the Hall of Fame soon.
I can only hope.
First ever person from Hawaii in the Hall of Fame. Congrats on getting to the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that was
this
an
year.
honor.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, well, in December, and like those are all honors. Being the first guy from Hawaii is something I think about. I'd love to be that guy. We'll see if it happens, but got the call this year, and like when you go up on do those kind of things, it's really just an opportunity to thank. Like you get to stand on stage and thank everyone who got you to that place, and it's always kind of like, like I remember the Washington AD call. It's funny because the Washington AD called me, and he said, "Olin, did the box come?" And I had just moved houses 4 or 5 years ago, and I was like, "No, I haven't gotten anything." He goes, "Because you're supposed to open the box and then get the call." So I had no idea what he was talking about, right? And like I told you, I was in college for, only 2 years, so it wasn't something I expected. But it's a huge honor.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah, and mahalo everybody for the social media fan questions. Make sure you leave some for our next guest, and maybe your question will make it on the podcast. Speaking of, the Hall of Fame career and college, it's funny because we have a lot of talent in Hawaii, but it doesn't always translate to the NFL level. I mean, we got some Hall of Famers from Hawaii and, our Polynesians in college. But, it doesn't necessarily pan out with Manti, Marcus, Tua. They're still in the NFL. But,
right.
Dylan, the most touchdowns, most games played in college football history. He's
right.
third string, maybe, at the Browns. It doesn't always translate. Like, what do you think happens from the college to the NFL level? Is it just we're smaller and it does, you got to be a little bit bigger sometimes, depending on the position you're playing? Yeah,
it is a really good question. What happens? Like you would have to be there in the room with the guys and the coaching staffs and the teammates and see everything that's going on. The game, obviously, everyone knows the speed picks up. The decision making is a lot faster than it is. Quarterback is a really human quarterbacks. Yeah, it's a really hard position. It's the hardest position in the NFL, right? It's things happen at a really high rate, a really fast pace, and decision making is important, and who your coordinator is important, and who the guys around you is important, and a lot of times the quarterback's infrastructure is more important than what they're actually doing, right? But making an NFL is not easy. It's not. It's a lot of work, right? It's a lot of talked about Ray Lewis and his film study and the things he did, and just that I like to tell young football players that line, because to me it makes sense. I watch it till I see what I need to see. There's no time, right? Well, how long you want to watch film? Well, this is what I do. It's like you're doing this for a living now, right? It's your job. The atmosphere is different, right? It's a little more. There's a lot of pressure there. It's not as ohana as college is, right? It's not like, there'll be times you'll be here tomorrow. Sometimes you don't know that, right? Like they make cuts in the NFL from 90 to 50 and the room just cuts in half, right? And the whole feeling changes in there. And but why guys don't make it, I would have to be there with them, to see what happened and why it didn't translate. And I don't think size is a thing, to me. I don't worry much about size and length, and it's just I think the decision making is faster and the violence goes up, and it's a little more serious. It's a little more. This is not all fun and games anymore, right? It's like we have a job. If we don't do our job, people get fired. If people get fired, they can't feed their families. Sometimes, and I'm just talking an overview of I don't know what happened in certain situations, right? I don't know what goes on really. Sometimes it's just the situation of the coach or the players or people around or the building. Like you guys have this great podcast. I'm sure you would say it's a team you have. I have this situation I walked into. It's a great situation. All these guys do a great job. They make me better than I am. Yeah, football is the same way. I always tell people football is a lot like business, right? Like it's the people around you making you better than you are.
Yeah, I mean you are the reflection of the 5 people you hang out with.
Yeah, man, right? It just is. It's tough. It's tough.
That's why I feel bad for really good players when they go to bad franchises.
Yeah,
and that's kind of like the double-edged sword of you're a top prospect, but you're probably going to get drafted by the worst team. So you have the chance to be like, okay, you can turn the whole franchise around, or you can just be a bust. And, you know, it's a lot of pressure. And,
and a lot of times they keep changing the same positions, the coach and the player, and that's not the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is way above, right? And the franchise just not run well, and people are not doing their jobs above them, so it doesn't allow everybody else to do their job. So, you know, there's so many factors that factor into making it in the NFL. It's just there's a little luck involved and a lot of hard work.
Totally. The hard work is something that you can never take away from anybody.
No. It's something that, like, the work has to be done. You know, the work is the work, and you really can't hide from it. A lot of the, you know, the training and the hours of studying film and learning the game and looking at the game like it's more of like your craft, your skill. That's what you do for a living. Study the game, get to know where it's from. You know, like I was just telling somebody that I was helping a Northwestern offensive lineman who's actually from Nigeria yesterday, and I was telling him, you know, when you learn a drill, you should learn like who created the drill and why you're doing the drill, so you actually know why you're actually doing this, right? So just that perspective of the work and learning, like football is actually what I do for a living. Sometimes it's tough for guys.
Yeah, a lot of players say, you know, we're just playing a kid's game, right? And we're doing what we love. We're getting paid for it. Do you truly feel like it's just like the greatest job in the world?
It really
You're
is,
just like, I mean,
it really was a great job.
If I could get paid to play sports my whole life, like I would. But it is a lot of dedication. Like sometimes people aren't ready for that, you know, of like the sacrifices that you have to, being away from your family, the tour days, you know, the long nights, early mornings. Like people want it, but sometimes they don't necessarily work for it.
No, I know what you're saying, and to the first part of your question, yes, it is. It's still a game on Sunday. It still is. Like I'll never get to run out again in a 70,000 person stadium with jets flying overhead. Like it's just a fantasy.
Maybe
right?
when you sing the national anthem.
Yes, we'll do
your next
Hawaiʻi Pony. I'll sing that. But you know, like when you walk into the building there, right? Like they feed you. You got, you know, places to either a hot tub, cold tub, sauna, weight room, and really all we do is play football. But you know, like so I go to like do career days at my kids' school, and everybody wants to hear the pro athlete version of career day, and I'll always take our schedule in there, and I'll ask them, what does it say from 8 to 11? And they say meetings. And I go, I said, how long is the meeting? They're like 3.5 hours. I said, yeah. I said, what does it say after that? They go, lunch. I go, what does it say after that? They go, practice. I go, practice is how long? They said, 1.5 hours, 2 hours. I said, what does it say after practice? They said, meetings. I said, what does it say, 3 to 7? I go, yeah. I go, that's 8 hours of meetings we're doing, right? We're meeting on football. And I always tell them, I go, like, that's like being in school for 8 hours, right? So like you're saying, it's not, we're not just in there. It's not just practice and then go home. Although nowadays, like you're saying, 2 days, they don't have 2 days anymore. The new collective bargaining agreement puts a time limit on them. They can only have so many padded practices now. But there's just a lot of mental work that goes into, like, all that time they had you in school and college. They're using all that time now to study film. And then when you talk about, you know, what makes it maybe hard in college is there's scouts and there's coaches and everybody and say, like, you're the kicker wide receiver. Well, they're specifically breaking you down for 5 or 6 hours. And they're going to find your weakness. And they're going to attack it on every play. And if you can't overcome your weakness and adjust to people attacking you, that's why a lot of guys will kind of fizzle out of the NFL, because now all of a sudden you got the guys spending 8 hours a day. How are we going to attack Kamaka here? Like, what are we going to do? What does he do well? What does he not like to do? How do I go at him? How do I take away his strengths and make him play his weaknesses? And you start doing all that, and then you can't adjust to it. Now the league becomes a tougher place.
Do you think this translates to fantasy football as well?
If you study it like that, I think you can, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went championship last year, and so I got to make some adjustments.
So did you get to the championship or no?
One league I got second place.
What player let you down, you think, the most when you got to that
Kyler Murray.
Did he?
Kyler Murray.
He didn't play last year, right?
He was terrible.
So you took, but did you bench him or no?
I had to bench him.
Who was your backup?
I think Bo Nix I had in one league. I went with an
Bo
interesting
wasn't putting up a lot of
strategy
numbers,
of
man.
going Kyler and Bo Nix back to back in one of my drafts. Didn't work out, so I'm gonna have to reevaluate.
Who was your top point getter though?
Trey McBride. Trey McBride was a dog.
Yeah,
he is
good.
a dog.
Yeah, he's
Trey
good.
McBride. I hate to say this, but somebody who let me down, Rome Odunze.
Yeah, Rome had a broken foot though last year.
I know he was doing really well. I traded for him, and then once I got him, he goose egged me.
Who was your other receiver?
Justin Jefferson.
Oh,
Another
man. You had a tough
disappointing.
One. Who was your utility? Did you have a utility guy?
I might have had. Let me think.
I'm surprised you got to second place with that team.
Oh, that team was a different league. We had like Jonathan Taylor and Saquon Barkley and Travis Kelce. Like on paper, it was like all right, some vets, but like they all like did their job, you know.
Right.
I was trying to go for more upside in my other league, and that was my main league. But yeah, disappointing. But I gotta spend 8 more hours in school. So Faith, if you hear me listening to 8 hours of podcast now.
You know, if you go on NFL.com, you can buy and watch the All 22.
What is that, All 22?
All 22 is the coach's angle. So you get the sideline view and the end zone view.
No way.
Yeah, so you can study it like a coach. Take notes, see who you want to draft this year. Make sure you study the injuries.
Yeah, that's
the coach is important.
I'm just gonna call into the station over here. I'm gonna start texting Nick, right?
Nick,
yeah. Nicholas
Mariano can do it for you. Yep.
Like, who's this random number asking me about Bears player? Luther Burden or Rome Odunze? Hurry up, I'm on the clock. Anyway, so every episode we have giveaways, and I like to ask my guests for a secret word or phrase that the audience can send to my assistant for an extra 10 entries. So can you give us like a secret word or phrase that they can use for this episode for an extra 10 bonus entries?
Let's go with fantasy football.
Fantasy. So email Nicole at keepitaloha.com the word fantasy and your favorite NFL team. Maybe you might get extra bonus entries if it's Bears. Not from us, but from them. Mm-hmm. But go do that and you get extra 10 entries. This week's giveaway is an awesome giveaway from Dave & Buster's Aloha. They just celebrated their 1-year anniversary. I think the first place winner is getting like a $500 gift certificate and some Pokemon cards because everyone loves Pokemon cards. So good luck with that.
Where is Dave & Buster's Aloha?
It's in Aloha now. So
Where?
It used to be at Ward. I don't know if you remember.
I do.
You know where Shirokiya used to be?
Yeah.
At the bottom?
Yeah.
That's where it is now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's actually a really good location. It's one floor, but it's huge. So whenever you're back, you guys should come and bring the whole family. That guy does the marketing for it.
Awesome.
So yeah, we can hook you guys up. All right, and I like to ask all of my guests the same question about keeping it aloha. It's the name of the podcast. It's something I try to do every day of my life. So I want to know in your life, how do you keep it aloha?
Just by finding through the game of football someone to help all the time. Some young kid or somebody always wants to train, always wants to get better at football. I do own a gym here. It's a private gym. Train most guys for free. You know, so just through the game of football, through teaching it, that's how I like to keep it aloha. Just really helping people chase their dreams and just teaching it, just doing things like that is usually the way I do it.
Yeah, I love it. I love seeing all the videos you post with all the young guys coming up.
Yeah, well, we love it, man. You know, I have a lineman special strength. We have a manual and stuff on Amazon, but just developed a system of training linemen that really is a lot based off of what my grandfather did in Hawaii. And there's a place called Westside Barbell in Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio, that the guy's name was Louis Simmons, who was a very popular trainer, created the conjugate method. So it's kind of combines my grandfather's and his method with skill training for football. But through that, as you know, there's a lot of young guys who want to play football, and you get to meet a lot of people. And I get a lot of, I remember through COVID, my son's teams, they didn't have anywhere to train because a lot of places were closed. So I got to meet a lot of kids through that. And I coach some high school football here. I know a lot of them. And I got a lot of college kids that reach out to me and stuff. So we have a good time in the gym.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, you're inspiring so many people, and it's cool that you get to do it in 2 different places. You know, just being here and living your life and doing what you did in your career, you inspire everybody back home, and you show people that there's a possibility that I could be in the NFL, you know? Mm-hmm. And now you're here in Chicago and you're inspiring all the kids over here. So I think it's so cool that you get to do that. You've had an amazing career. I mean, the accolades speak for themselves. I mean, 6 Pro Bowls, All Pros, I think 183 starts, only second to Walter Payton.
Yeah, for the Bears.
Probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest Bear of all time. Mm-hmm. So many amazing things you've done in your career. What would you say you're most proud of?
Career-wise?
Everything, yeah. 6 children.
Yeah, I mean,
wife.
it's just I don't really take time to be proud of, like, I guess, like the things I've done. You know what I mean? I'm proud of my family, obviously. And I just hope I made my family proud and represented, in turn, them and the people of Hawaii well. Like, that's really, like, I don't take time to think of, like, I'm proud of I did this. That just kind of wastes my time through the day. So really just proud of the fact that the game the football keeps giving back to me. And I think we talked about my 2 boys both played at Illinois, and through sports, just kind of teaching life and just living it the way I think is the right way.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's awesome. I'm super, super proud of you. I mean, just as a Hawaii guy, and I get to talk to all these amazing people and learn stories like this. And it truly is, like, representation is important, you know, especially from Hawaii. Like, growing up, we didn't see too many people that look like us or, you know, had amazing careers. I mean, my ceiling was BJ Penn growing up in Hilo. That was, like, the greatest athlete I ever saw. And I didn't think I could be working a job that got more than like $40,000, or, you know, I thought I'd end up at Walmart or like maybe the hospital or something, just working. Right. So it's so cool that, you know, there's all kinds of different possibilities. And for you, if you could talk to some of the young people watching this, maybe they're athletes, maybe they're future entrepreneurs, and just give them a piece of advice and like how to get to a level of success in your career, like what would you say to them?
Well, first I just say, like, whatever your dream is, whatever you think you want to do, like say play in the NFL, I would say it should be bigger. You should be chasing bigger dreams. Like, people are gonna doubt you. That's the way it goes. Like, they won't believe you can do it. But if you chase big goals, if you chase huge dreams, you usually end up accomplishing something, right? Like I tell football players, if you chase the NFL, you got to go to college. You got to go to college to get to the NFL. While you're at college, you'll get a degree. You got to believe that you'll do things that no one else believes that you can do, right? And there's just the path of, like, and everybody will say the same thing, you know, look at me. I you know, they said I couldn't do it, and that's all fine. But just the fact of chasing big dreams, you learn hard work. You learn to get up in the morning. You learn to do the things that need to be done to get to where you got to go. And you learn what you're actually capable of, right? And there's a saying, like, you gotta learn to love to be miserable, but that just means you gotta learn to love the work. You gotta learn to love what you have to do. But my one thing I like to tell people is, whatever your goal that scares you or you think people don't think you can do it, like, I would make it even bigger than that. Like, just go after something that no one thinks is even possible. I do, like, radio here now. And if you would have told me I was going to do media, I would have told you you're crazy, right? I would have told you that, like, I remember meeting the guy who runs CBS Radio. His name is Mitch Rosen. And he said, Olin, they wanted me to do the radio show, the pre- and post-game show, after I retired. And I said, Mitch, how did you get to me? Like, how did you get to you wanted me on the radio? I never did any media when I played. I never talked to anybody. And he said, we're in the opinion business and everybody knows you got them. So, but that's based off of like talk story, right? Like that's what we do at home. Like we sit down. If you would have came to my grandfather's gym back in the day, we were basically running a podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, the place was just nuts, right? Everyone has their opinion and stories are usually bigger than they should be. But just that simple fact of don't let anybody tell you your dream is crazy. Don't let anybody tell you your dream should be smaller and you should live in reality. Like, go ahead and chase your dream and whatever it is, make it even bigger than it should be.
Yeah, that's great advice, Malo, for sharing that. Speaking of, how I guess you were portrayed by the media and all of that, you're known. I mean, what you see is what you get. You're tough, you're humble, man, a few words, but when you speak, people listen. So what would you want? I like to ask my guests these questions too, is what is one thing you wish people knew about you that they don't?
One thing they knew about me that they don't. I don't think there's anything I wish people knew about me. I just
Olin Kreutz answer.
Right.
What do you think they misunderstand about you?
I don't know. I don't mean to. I'm not avoiding your question. I just don't think. I don't think I'm really misunderstood at any point. I try to live like the way I've been taught by the people, my mom, my dad, my grandfather, my uncle, my grandma, whoever was there. I really am just trying to make them proud. That's all I'm really trying to do with just trying to represent them, whether they're still here on earth or not, just trying to represent them as I go.
Yeah. Right.
And being misunderstood and what I wish people knew. I mean, I don't mean to be, I hope this doesn't sound better, but I really don't care. I really don't spend much time thinking about what people think about me and what I'm doing. I would tell people before, like, why do you act a certain way? Or like you're saying, there's this reputation and I always say, I got people to answer to, man. I got people that, like, when I get home, they expect me to act a certain way.
Yeah. I mean, if you act the wrong way, sometimes you follow by lickings.
A lot of times.
Yeah, so that makes sense. If
you
learn about his life story, learn about who his grandpa is and his family and where he trained and the people that he trained with. Yeah. You'll understand.
Yeah, I mean, just like everybody else has their story, right?
Yeah.
And then that is mine. And I'm sure anybody who Googled me, I made mistakes. What people think are mistakes during the year, but through my years, but it really was what I was taught. It was really what, like, this is the way I was going to react to certain situations.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that happens a lot. That's why generational trauma is a real thing in Hawaii. That's why, it is important that you surround yourself by, good people so that you don't end up doing bad things or good things. If you're around people who are doing good things, you're going to do good things.
Yeah.
And then the opposite. So it just makes sense.
Yeah.
What are you most grateful for?
Besides my family, I am grateful that I was blessed with a talent to play football. Like, that's given me anything I do in life is from the game, right? And I'm sure you can hear, like, I have a lot of respect for the game. Like, the game has given me everything I have. So I am grateful for the game. If you took my family out of it, which I've talked a lot about here on this podcast, I am grateful for the game of football and the fact that I was able to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm grateful that I was humble enough to let the other people go to the NFL.
It wasn't for your
Besides
ankle.
me, yeah. If it wasn't for my
the
ankle. I mean,
man.
I could have rehabbed and I could have got there.
Well,
but
who set up the
I
game?
was thinking, like,
who set up the Fish and Minnows game? Was that Willie Lobendon?
I think it was
Coach
Dubs.
Lobendon?
I think it was the defensive lineman coach. See, I think he didn't want me to perform.
You just threw him under the bus.
And I think he didn't want me to take away the defensive lineman position from the other guys.
So what you're saying is, without Dubs, you would be.
I would be in the
NFL
yeah.
for sure.
But then
100%.
But then we're taught to be humble. So I'm like, let's give other people a shot.
There you go.
To make it. I don't want to take food off somebody else's table.
And if you would have hit that move on somebody, you would have embarrassed him in front of their family.
And social media was around this time.
Yes.
So that would have been viral.
Over and over again.
I might have been a Chicago Bears.
No doubt. Not might have.
Yeah.
Or New Orleans Saints.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I didn't want to be a Saints these last couple of years. It's been kind of rough. Hey, for both of our teams, it's been last couple years have been rough, but now it's on the up and up.
Up and up. The
Yeah.
Bears had a good year last year, man.
Yeah.
They had a crazy year. They were almost like what the Knicks did last night. Like that's the kind of games they would
Coming
win.
back from 29
Yeah.
every single game.
Every game.
Caleb Williams just 0 for 10 shooting, and then just like a perfect 4 for 4 clutch points.
Right
Yeah.
at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Run backwards 30 yards, throw it up. Touchdown.
That play when he did that,
It's crazy.
It was one of the craziest plays. What is your most favorite thing about Chicago? What do you love about the city and the people, whatever it is?
Yeah, it's the people are. It's a hardworking city that cares about their sports. I mean, they really care about the sports, and they're really interested and invested in, say, the Chicago Bears or the Chicago Blackhawks or the White Sox or the Cubs or the Bulls. They are invested emotionally. They care about their sports teams, and they care about hard work. They care about blue collar, which I feel like matches me well. So I really, really, really have enjoyed living here and becoming a part of the city and the state of Illinois.
Yeah, that's the only thing I wish we had in Hawaii was sports culture. The closest thing would be high school football or high school sports, maybe like volleyball, baseball.
Although Timmy Chang's doing a good job up there.
Oh, yeah,
at
UH.
right?
I mean, when I was at UH, we sucked. But
Yeah.
I wish we were good when I was
That was
there.
a big bowl win they had against Cal.
Oh, yeah, huge. Yeah.
What's the quarterback's name at UH?
Micah Alejado.
Good player.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That was a great pass at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Great call by Timmy.
Yeah, totally. We'll get Timmy on the podcast at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I wish, because every time we come here for our travel episodes now, we all try to go to a sports game because I love sports. And we don't have that. We don't have professional sports in Hawaii. So I just love being a part of it. I love how sports brings people together too. We were just talking about this. It was a funny video where, because the Knicks they're winning. They're in the NBA championship for like the first time in 20 plus years, or I don't know what the number it was, but there's a video that went viral of like these black guys walking in the streets and had this one white boy, and they were all celebrating super, super hard, and they were like telling the white boy, we'll give you the pass, because they're so excited. And they convince this white guy to say the N-word, and then he's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. He's like, come on, we're all so hyped. And he says it, and all the black guys around are just cheering and celebrating, going off like, yeah, man. But it was just so funny. But that's just an example
Brings everybody together.
of how sports brings people together so much that they let a white guy say the N-word.
Yeah.
That's how much people love sports.
You're right. You're right. People do love it. And this city and this town, man, obviously I'm biased, but I don't know if there is a better city or town for sports. It's, I was drafted here, and I was lucky, man, to play in Chicago for the Bears, and it's been an amazing run.
Yeah, some of the greatest teams of all time. I mean, there's the 85
Bears, yep.
Jordan.
And their last championship was my first year here in '98. Got to know a lot of the '85 Bears. They're always around. So I got to meet Walter Payton before he passed. Right.
Cool.
You get to meet all these guys and all these legends here. So it has been cool.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so we're gonna go wrap up the podcast in a little bit. Sean, do you mind grabbing my bag? I got my Pokemon cards in there. What is your favorite thing about Hawaii? What do you miss the most? My backpack.
I really just miss the pace there, the pace of living and the way, now obviously I was just in Honolulu in April, and the traffic and things are a little crazier than I remember, but just the pace everyone lives their life at, where it's kind of a little more relaxed, right? A little more laid back. I like to tell people, they say, what's the biggest difference you think between, say Illinois and Hawaii? And I always say, I use this analogy. I say, if you were approaching at McDonald's at the same time in Hawaii, the person would stop and let you in, or grab the door for you and let you go first. I said, in Illinois, you're in a race to get to the line, and they're hoping you come in last. So I do miss that, right? You miss people letting you in on the road instead of just, you got to cut them off as you go. So just that's what I mean by that's more my style, that kind of pace of life, and just kind of little more relaxed in everyday things. So that's probably what I missed the most.
Yeah, I would say that one of the weirdest and I guess biggest pet peeves I have when we do these travel episodes is when you open the door for somebody.
They don't say thank you.
They don't say thank
They
you.
They don't say
it's
thank
like
you,
not
bro.
a thing. And
Even when you let them in. I remember when I first
Yeah.
moved here and I'd let somebody in, I was actually like chasing them down to yell at them for not waving at me.
I'll be like, you're welcome. Like this happened that day when we went to the museum. I held the door open for like a family. Like the other just walk by. Like
They don't care, man.
like what? You're welcome.
They thought you worked there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's crazy. But I guess we're just so accustomed to that in Hawaii and just that level of respect. But yeah, I don't want to get angry at them because, like you said, that's their culture.
Everyone's raised differently, man.
Exactly.
That's one thing you learn. Yeah.
That's what I've learned. It just comes down to education. Even like walking in with slippers, no slippers, like can't get mad at them. That's just normal to them.
Normal, man.
Yeah. So what does the next couple of years look like for you? What are you hoping to do now? I mean, you're doing your podcast.
Yeah, so I do the
Cap.
podcast with Cap.
Yeah.
This is on Tuesdays after the game. I'm on the pre and post game show on the Score here in Chicago for the Bears. So we do we're on before the game and then we're on right after. We click on. Probably continue doing some kind of media work. I just want to continue to develop the gym I have and kind of trying to push the envelope on training offensive linemen or training football players and adding skill work to what they do because there's not as many practices anymore. So really just that, and then, trying to help kids and my kids chase their dreams.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Do you have any plans to, suit back up, do some charity games?
If I get a new body,
yeah.
The Hawaii does need the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
that was fun.
I wish we had it.
That was an amazing experience to go home and play back in the Pro Bowl and play in front of my family and friends. But yeah, Hawaii needs a game like that again.
Yeah,
but they got to get a stadium first.
That's true.
Aloha
They
Stadium
just
came down.
took down the final part the other day.
Any casinos coming there? Or?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Thinking we got casinos coming? No, not yet.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I think it will happen.
You think they'll ever pass it?
Think
like
it'll
a brick
happen.
and mortar casino?
I think at some point. I don't know when, but I've been hearing some whispers.
Yeah.
So I feel like it will happen.
Yeah.
And Hawaii, we love to gamble.
Online gambling would be easy, right?
Yeah, no need to go Vegas anymore. No need to do all these offshore stuff. Just it's all over here.
Yeah.
Put it right
where the stadium was.
Some of the houses in Hawaii might go. They might not have clients anymore, but or maybe they will. I don't know. No taxes. How do I know that? I don't know. Don't ask me. All right. Do you have a life hack that you can share with us before we start to wrap up?
You asked me about this, and I think my only life hack is, no matter what happens to me or that day, I'm gonna get up and get my exercise in, and that usually gets me moving in the right direction.
Do it when you're tired.
Do whatever I did. Maybe drink too much, hang out too long. I'm gonna try to get, and whatever you do. Like I do hot yoga now. I still lift weights. I go for a walk, go for a run. Whatever you do, that is my life hack. It gets me going in the right direction. It gets me going for my day.
Awesome. Fate's pumping her fist in there when you said hot yoga. She's
yoga.
a yoga girly.
Yeah. I started doing it like my 11th year, trying to get my flexibility back. It's never really come back, but it's a good sweat. Like it's good here when it's 2 degrees.
Yeah, that's very true.
That helps.
I notice a lot when offensive linemen retire, they just drop a lot of weight, right?
He's been heavy for so long.
Yeah.
Like I was, I think I'm 250 now. I was 290 in my junior year in high school.
Oh.
Right. And I would lose 25, 30 pounds to wrestle, but then go right back up.
Yeah.
So this is the lightest I've been since maybe my sophomore year in high school.
And is that on purpose? Like, are you trying to eat a lot? Are you trying to like always bulk or be a certain like weight?
I wasn't when I was young. I just love eating. Right? I love my mom would always tell me like, you were the easiest kid because I just fed you and you were happy.
You
right?
took anything.
Yeah. So I was, I was heavy for a long time. Like I told you, I didn't get to play Pop Warner football, and I think I was 220 my freshman year in high school already. So I was now later in my career when your lean mass goes down and you get older and all that stuff, then I would have to eat and try to keep my weight up and stuff. But now it's more trying to keep it down all the time.
The struggle,
especially with like my two sons who play football come home and it's 10 o'clock at night and there's more DoorDash showing up, more food. I'm like, who's this guy driving into our house and it's chicken wings or whatever it is?
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we end the podcast, every episode we rip some packs, some
Okay.
Pokemon packs. So Pokemon's super hot right now. Are you guys into Pokemon? A little bit. So right now it's probably like the hottest thing in culture right now. The Pokemon market has been outperforming stocks and all the other markets over the last couple of years. Like if you put in $30 into a Charizard over the last couple of years versus the S&P 500, you probably would have made like 200,000 versus like 2,000. Like that's how crazy it is.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So
With this world we live in now, that's the least surprising thing I've heard today.
So we're gonna open packs, and this is a good one. They have really good packs or cards in here. So if you get a good one, you could pay for your kids' college.
There we go.
Yeah.
I could use it.
So let's rip this booster bundle open. I think the top card in this one is like $1,800
In there?
in this raw, and if you grade it, I think it's like $4,000. It's
that
crazy.
right? I got to get into Pokemon.
You got to. I've been telling everybody, just like any business you want customers, just sell Pokemon cards. Here, choose one. Okay, we'll let Nick rip some after this because his eyes are getting wide. He's like, ooh, Pokemon.
What am I looking
Oh
for?
wow, you already. That's like the best a guest has ever opened it. They all struggle. You just did that so easily.
I use my teeth. But
Yeah.
What are we looking for?
Okay, here. So I'll show you here. So I'll open mine.
Okay.
And then, so you're looking for like a good full art card. Let me see if I have a God pack. Not a God pack. So we take the back card out like this. The last one is just an energy card. So we like to guess the color. So I'll say, I'll go, let's see, let's go blue because it's cold. Okay, it's fighting. So you can just guess a color.
Green.
Okay, fire. Red for Chicago. All right, so you hold up to the camera here. You can look at me first, and then you can do it. And then you just take cards off one by one like this. And then the back cards are where the good cards are. So these are just regular ones. I didn't get anything.
How do I know if I got anything?
You would know if you got something.
Okay.
Can I see? Oh yeah, so that's what they would say as you got cooked. Oh no, you got something. You got something. Nice. You got a Pikachu. Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
Right after he said I got cooked. He's wrong.
I didn't see him. You were talking about how your eyes get worse, right, when you're older.
Haters are gonna hate.
Yeah. So you see this one right over here. It looks different than the rest.
See, I was looking at the wrong card.
Yeah. I couldn't see it. Yeah. So you got a hit.
There
And
we
it is
go.
a hit. So it's a small hit, but you got something.
4,000.
Close. 4,000 pesos, maybe. Well, mahalo, Olin,
Yeah,
for
man, I had a
welcoming
blast.
us here to
Yeah.
Chicago. Shout out to Cap and the crew. They've been awesome over here. Anything else you want to share with us? If not, tell us where we can find you.
No, nothing else to share. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Olin Kreutz.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shout out to you. Shout out to our crew over here. Shout out to Hawaiian Airlines for flying us over here. They are actually launching their new in-flight meal, in-flight meal program, I believe it's called, with Chef Sheldon. That's launching in July, like a week after this episode airs. So make sure you guys go check that out. Mahalo, Olin, for joining us on the Keep It Low
Hawaiian
podcast.
and Alaska, get a direct.
Yeah.
Direct
Spread
to
love,
Chicago.
be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. We have new episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host, Kamaka, and remember to always keep it aloha.